So before we get into the main topic, just a couple things to talk about quickly. This right here is A Couple of Brickheads YouTube channel. I've talked about them in the past. Everybody here should already know how much I absolutely love this YouTube channel. I just wanted to point out right here that they did have a live stream, and I was honored to be a guest on that live stream. I think it's the second time that I've been a guest on that live stream. Highly encourage everybody to check it out if you haven't seen it already. I usually do a live stream the third Friday of every month. I forewent doing the live stream on my YouTube channel so I could be a part of this. And to be honest, the only thing that was more fun than this live stream was the after show. The after show, I was up till 2 in the morning talking about all kinds of things. It was such a good time, but I highly encourage everybody to check that out. So I do want to share a question that somebody posted on one of the last videos that I did. This one is from F. Templar, and he asks, why would you buy Optimus Prime right now? It's only retiring in 2025 so far. Well, that's a great question. And for those of you that don't know, we were talking about at the beginning of a recent video where there was an Optimus Prime set that might have been discounted to $107, and I talked about how I might be interested in purchasing that set because, in my opinion, it was such a good deal. Now, the bad thing about that set is not retiring this year. I've said this in the past on previous YouTube channels that there is a verse in the Bible that says man and women cannot live off of the retirement list alone, right? And this is one of the examples. I know there are some people out there, they only strictly purchase sets that are not just retiring, they will do all of their purchasing the last quarter of the year. That's something they're comfortable with. I'm not. Now, don't get me wrong. I do a lot of purchasing, most of my purchasing of Lego sets that are retiring that year, but there are times where I just won't do that. And let me give you an example. About 2 or 3 months ago, I had an email exchange with a person, and he said, hey, I was starting to get into Lego reselling. I changed my mind. I have some inventory. Would you be interested in it? And I said, sure, but I really wanted to see what the inventory was. And to be frank, I really had not planned to purchase any Lego sets that month or, during that time. I wanted to save my money a little bit later. So I wasn't going to give him a lowball offer. I was just going to give him an offer that I was comfortable with, right? So he said, hey, I have some space shuttles, I have some typewriters, I have some throne rooms, and a few other things that were in his inventory. And I sent him a reply back. I said, listen, I'm happy to take it off your hands, but unfortunately I can only do it at 50% because, again, I really wasn't looking to purchase Lego sets at this time frame. I wanted to save my money for a couple months later down the road. So I didn't expect him to reply back and said deal, but he did, and I was happy for it. So those sets, the space shuttle, the typewriter, and the throne room, they're not retiring this year, but I was able to get them for 50% off, and guess what? I am happy with that. I will purchase any Lego set at 50% off, whether it's retiring or not. And that's just my business model. So I do think it's a fair question, and I just wanted to share with everybody, there's really no right or wrong when it comes to people's successful business models. I'm sure there are some wrongs when people have business models that don't do rather well. So right now you're looking at Lego Shop at Home, and it does look like the Steamboat Willie GWP is gone, but I wanted to ask everybody this question. I asked this question to the Patreon members, and because I thought the answers were very interesting, I decided to go ahead and ask the question to the Facebook group, and I thought those answers were interesting as well. So I'm just going to go ahead and I'm going to ask it to everybody that's watching it right here, and I would love to hear what you have in the comment section. Would you rather have a Lego Ideas Winnie the Pooh at regular retail price of $100 and a Steamboat Willie GWP, or would you rather have a Lego Ideas Winnie the Pooh set at 30% off? I was surprised. My opinion is I would take the Winnie the Pooh and the Steamboat Willie, but it seemed to be somewhere around 70-30%, where 70% of the people said that they wanted just to have a 30% off Winnie the Pooh Lego set, and the other percentage wanted to have the Steamboat Willie GWP and the Winnie the Pooh. That was an interesting thing. I'm curious to hear what people have to say in the comments. And finally, I would like to humbly ask everybody to like and subscribe to this channel. As of this recording, we're somewhere around 50 subscribers from 8,000, which I can't wait to get to 8,000, right? I know this month so far we've had over 50,000 brand new viewers to the channel, and I'm thrilled. If only 2 or 3% of those viewers were nice enough to subscribe to this channel, it would really help us out, and I would be very appreciative. You're looking at Amazon.com, and this is the topic that I want to talk about. You're looking at the Lego Icons Orchid set number 10311. Now here's the thing, I'm not necessarily going to be specifically talking about this set. I'm going to use it as an example. Right now you can get this set for $10 off, which is 20%. It's kind of been that way all year, right? And that's why I wanted to pick it for this video. So about once a year around this time, maybe not this time, maybe in November, maybe beginning of December, there will be some people that will reach out to me. And these are acquaintance resellers. These aren't resellers that I know really well. And usually these are resellers that aren't as experienced as me, which is fine. No big deal, right? And for this example, we are going to assume that the Lego Orchid set is retiring. It's not on the retirement list, but for this demonstration, we're going to say it is. And these people will say something like, hey, I really want to get the Orchid set. I've seen it maybe discounted for 25% off a couple times throughout the year. I really don't want to buy it right now. I'm holding out for that 25%. What are your thoughts? And the reason why I wanted to talk about this is because there's a lot of psychology whenever it comes to Lego reselling. We've talked about this before, right? And that answer to the question that I always give them is, do you really want to miss out on a Lego set that is a certified banger and go on Amazon 3, 4, 5 years from now and say, oh my gosh, I can't believe I let 5% get in my way of not purchasing this. This Lego set is doing gangbusters, right? And I really feel that there are a lot of people out there during Q4 that will be asking themselves a similar question, right? Let's say that this set, the Orchid set, is retiring this year and the discount only goes to 10% in December. Should you buy it? Well, unfortunately, I can't give any investing advice, but I know for myself, I would. And here's the reason why. By the time I'm pulling the trigger on this Orchid at 10% off, I should already have 20, 30, 40, 50 of these Orchids already. Why? Because I know for me, one of the last things that I want to do towards the end of the year is start buying a new SKU. Now there are exceptions, right? There could be that F-150 Raptor that Walmart is selling at 50% off, right? Now that is definitely something that you may want to consider. And let's say you don't have any Orchids, right? And Walmart or Amazon starts selling these at 50% off. That's something that you would want to consider too. It's one thing to have a race to the bottom on Amazon or eBay, which is something that I never recommend doing because you're just nickel and diming other people. But the very last person that you want to nickel and dime is yourself. If you feel that a Lego set out there is a certified winner and you're coming to terms with your fears and desires over 5 or 10%, you really want to put those emotions aside and say to yourself, you know what? I already have 50 of these Orchids at 20 or maybe 23% off. I'm going to go ahead and purchase 20 more of these units at 10% off, and I'm just going to cost dollar average it. And after that, don't worry about it. Close your laptop, go to bed, go for a run, do whatever you want. So that's it whenever it comes to a Lego set that I'm thinking about purchasing and the discount isn't right. I know for myself, and I know that there are other people out there that look at this Lego set all the time, the White House. The White House, when it first came out, was not discounted at all. Its first year, I think the second year, it started to be discounted, maybe 15 or 10%. There were a couple times I think it was 20, maybe briefly one time it was 25. I honestly don't know what it is right now. If I had to guess, it would probably be somewhere around 15%. But that's a really good example of not wanting to overthink something. If you think that there is a set out there that is a certified winner, do not nickel and dime yourself, because 3 to 4 years from now, you're going to go on Amazon and you're going to look at that Orchid set, you're going to look at that White House set, and you're going to say to yourself, oh my gosh, I can't believe I let that one slip through my fingers. That's it, friends. Hope you enjoyed the video. As always, please don't forget to like and subscribe. Once again, I'm Jim with wolfofbricks.com. Always go out there and get it.